And now, from the bowels of the internet, it's the Hate This Podcast.
The Hate Bit Podcast is on the air. I'm Yellkaos. Joining me as always, the indomitable AlphaOmegaSin.
I'm really awesome and I like pancakes.
The super suave, sainted Magnus.
Why, hello.
And the impenetrable RazörFist.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your paragon, your idol, nay, your gleaming metalliferous god, your razor-fisted dynamo, RazörFist.
God fucking
I-
speed.
I exist for the singular purpose of demolishing the self-important, incestuous circle jerk that is the video game media, and I enjoy long walks on the beach and the music of Jimmy Buffett. God fucking speed.
Thank you, RazörFist. We got a lot for you today, so let's get started. Welcome to episode 3 of the Hate Bit Podcast.
Pancakes.
Pancakes.
All right, guys.
All right, first on the agenda, what were we talking about?
Pancakes.
Pancakes.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done with pancakes.
Have you noticed with pancakes, right? The pancakes in the US, they're made of dough and you stick them in the toaster and they pop up nice and warm. What do? We get flour, eggs, milk, stick them in a pan, and then we flip them over and we eat them with lemon.
Wow, that is a riveting topic you're on there, Sainted.
I'm happy to say that I've never ever put pancakes in a toaster.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, like here we actually have batter and everything and
Yeah, we
toss
have
those
biscuit.
fuckers into like a skillet or a fucking frying pan.
Yeah, it's Bisquick time over here in the
To
States.
be fair, though, we have pancakes that come out of a can. Do you have that?
No, we make them out from scratch. Because we're
Well, then you're
we're
a bunch
pop.
of bastards and you need to get technology on your
You
side.
don't need.
Just so you know, we're the Hate Bit Podcast. This isn't a cooking time podcast or anything like that. As
Well, we
many
could be doing a review of Cooking Mama.
Cooking Mama.
Cooking Mama wasn't
Come
down
on,
with
Cooking
fucking pancakes. That crazed-eyed bitch, she was fucking down with other shit. Now she's babysitting and gardening, and then we're gonna have welfare line mama and all the other fucking other strenuous activities of how fast can the stylist go across the screen to see how many dicks that she can swallow. Now it sounds like the Hate Bit Podcast.
Hey-oh!
Now it sounds like a DS Catherine title to me. I don't know.
Oh, that's what
Well,
we'll
no, we gotta push boxes and shit around, so we have to push
That's
around
right.
boxes so we can reach the blowjob area, then get our load blown into the bitch's fucking throat hole, and then go about our fucking activities.
Right. Back on track, I think.
All right, first on the chopping block,
Me.
the future.
The future.
Future.
Now, everybody here on the podcast got a lot to say about the impending, and I say impending in a very foreshadowing, daunting way, the future of game consoles. Now,
Oh,
Mr.
God.
Sainted Magnus, you had a lot to say about the codename Orbis or the PlayStation 4. Have at it.
It's going to be a piece of shit.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Where do I start? Right. This rumoured lockout of pre-owned games. Right, they said they've lifted it. I don't think they're going to fucking lift it. The whole thing with PSN, right? Going back to last year, it was fucked back then. Then they had the fucking hack. Now it's still fucked, even now. Credit card details. I dare not even put one fucking digit of my credit card on PlayStation Network.
I know.
If they do that, then hopefully, they've at least upgraded the security system with a fucking sniper on a bloody top of a tower.
It's not even the security that worries me about that. What worries me and what should worry everyone else is that it took Sony 2 weeks to inform their audience that their details had been hacked.
Exactly.
They didn't feel compelled to inform anyone that their information was in the hand of a bunch of profligate hackers.
Hey, you got to remember the one thing that they did after the whole entire thing was said and done was then they had that patch, and when you went online, you had to agree that you could not ever sue them for anything that they do, no matter how fucked up it is. So if they accidentally, and I use that term loosely like a fucking prostitute's crotch, if they accidentally lost your fucking digits and lost your personal information to said, I don't know, dozens of people that want to go and spend your money without you knowing until you go to take some money out of the ATM, then Sony's not held liable for that. That's not something that was their fault. It was your fault because you said, it's okay because I want to go back online. But, you know, the fact that they even had the fucking balls, and I say this balls, I mean plenty of balls, not just 2 in a fucking sack. I mean, they got plenty, a fucking nice collection on a shelf.
A ball pit from Chuck E. Cheese.
A piss-filled ball pit of balls.
Like a Rodney Dangerfield ball sack.
Yeah, which is fucking large and does not get any respect. Okay, they had the balls to actually fucking say, yeah, you can't fucking sue us if we screw up that bad. Always remember that they did do that. They are the enemy, and fuck them in the mouth. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, back to these specs that I've been supplied with. Right.
The utter bullshit specs.
Let's see. Let's see what they're going to change. Right. They say it's got a quad-core processor, clocking out at 2.9 gigahertz. Right. My computer's got double that, and it's a fucking dual core. So what's so fucking special? Right.
What the fuck is a quad core whenever they have i7 chips? It's just like, that's kind of silly.
Maybe the quad core discussion is like bits were back in the 90s. No one knew what the fuck a bit was, and no one knows what the fuck a quad core is, but it sounds impressive.
Well, it sounds impressive, but basically all it is fucking, it's one processor times another, 4 times. That's what it is.
Just like the buzzword that is the cell processor, which ultimately it was touted as this massive achievement for the PS3, and ultimately what did it amount to? It amounted to even more headaches for game developers that want to bring games onto their system.
Exactly.
So,
now, they've kind of gone down the same route with the fucking graphics card. They've gone down dedicated instead of shared, like the Xbox. So we're fucked. Basically, it is a HD 7670 that's DirectX enabled, which clocks out at 1 gigahertz with 1 gigahertz of dedicated VR RAM.
oh my.
So we're fucked.
So we still have no RAM. Still no RAM at all. That was the
basically
fundamental...
it's on par with our phones. Awesome.
I know.
So and it's slated for a 2013 release. No.
I don't know, guys.
No.
I have graphing calculators with more RAM than a PS3, and if they're not going to address the RAM problem, then they're not going very far here, because RAM is the big thing. The bigger your RAM is, the bigger your levels can be with fewer loading zones. That's
the bigger
huge.
the bigger the screams the ladies let out.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Now, one thing that I'm wondering is if what they should actually do is make the PlayStation 3 better, or take the same specs what they got the PlayStation 3 and just tighten it up, make it better. Give us like extra USB sockets that we can use instead of having 2, because we've got one for our hard drive and one to charge our joypad every 5 fucking minutes.
It takes you 5 minutes to charge your joypad?
No, it's like it dies. It just dies every fucking 5 minutes. I don't like the PlayStation.
Sexual euphemism.
I don't like it. I don't like I don't like using rechargeable joypads. I like to have a fucking cable in it all the time because it just works. Now the internet thing. It's going to be dedicated online all the time.
I don't believe
Yeah,
that.
what the fuck is that? What could it possibly be doing except spying on you?
I know. It's just not necessary to keep a console online.
What's even worse is they have the PlayStation camera type thing, so it really could just watch you.
Oh,
It's like I like seeing you in your boxers eating pizza rolls and wipe it on the couch. That fucking just jerks my
Watching
crank.
reruns of Step by Step.
It's already creepy with that folding at home shit that they used to have. That now is, what is it called now? They changed the name to it. I forget what it was called. But the whole thing where when your PS3, you can kind of turn it off, but not really, and it's kind of in a sleep-like state, and it crunches complex calculations that will help solve world hunger or male pattern baldness or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what it was called. It was like protein folding or something stupid.
It was folding at home originally, but I don't know what it's called now. But it's
it also polishes old silverware and it'll fix your wrecked marriage.
Yeah.
Yes. Marriage
I'm just turning
counselor.
on my PS3 to find out what this
Well,
fucking
here's
shit
the
was.
thing.
It's gonna explode.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, I mean, these are still going to be rumored specs because one of the things that RazörFist had said, well, before the fucking podcast, is that you got to remember what they were trying to tote as the PS3 specs, and
Yeah.
it was basically something that could launch a fucking spaceship
Yeah.
across the entire universe and back within a couple seconds, and it doesn't break a fucking sweat. And I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that it could also solve like all the world's problems with the press of fucking R1 and R2 at the same time.
Yes.
Because seriously, guys, if you remember back to 2005 when we were hearing about the Xbox 360 specs and the PS3 specs and even the Wii specs initially, it was all just like, they can jump over tall buildings in a single bound, faster than a speeding bullet. It's like, no, guys. At the end of the day, it had hardly any RAM at all. They always overstate and underdeliver. All three companies
All
do.
three.
Always.
Every
All
time.
three.
They got to build height.
And just going back to that whole folding at home thing, it's called Life with PlayStation.
Did Louis Anderson come up with that, or what?
Life with PlayStation.
Life with Louis.
Life with
Well,
PlayStation.
this is what the little description says. Life with
Life
PlayStation
was with
provides
Eddie
a
Murphy.
dynamic web-based content organized into unique channels that that can be browsed by time and location while you browse any channel.
Dude,
Your
when you edit-
PS3 system can contribute to Stanford University's Folding at Home distributed computer network.
Now that right there, I don't know, guys. Am I the only one picturing in my head, in the back of my mind, like "Leave It to Beaver" music, or like, you know, like that shopping sweepstakes music, like do 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 do.
I imagine Sainted in a really nice brown leisure suit, and he's on an infomercial just talking this up. And like he eventually
And he has
gotta
a
have
pipe.
like the bitch who has her fucking hands over it, like turning it ever so slightly so everybody can see it. And they're like, and if you buy it now, you know what? No, we'll lower the price. No, it's only 3 payments of $19.95.
Yes.
Now,
That's funny, I pictured it
everyone's picturing me working on a shopping channel. That's fantastic.
Dude, if you get a brown
picture
leisure
you
suit,
working in a library.
please do that. You got to get a brown leisure suit now because of this.
I've got to find a brown leisure suit, right?
So do we believe any of this?
You be
I
calling me
believe-
leisure suit Magnus. Anyway, yeah. So the Orbis, what a fucking name! Why call it the fucking Orbis? What's wrong with PlayStation 4?
Well, you know it's not going to be called that. That's
It's just a
their
code name.
Yeah, but people are going to call it the Orbis. Like,
Dude, they're going to call it the PS4 because if they call it anything outside of the PS4, nobody will even know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's the same thing with like, I still call the Wii the Revolution because Wii is a retarded name. I'm probably the only one who does that. But
Actually, I thought Wii was a good name because when you're having fun, you refer to yourself as other people. So I thought that was like a really ballsy statement by Nintendo. I'm like, are they trying to suggest their console is the epitome of a good time?
who remembers?
Yes.
Who remembers the concept name for the actual Wiimote? It was called the Wii Wand, and
the Wii Wall.
the Wii Wand, and me and my mates were just fucking laughing our asses off at that. It was like, oh, we're going to be running around town saying I've touched you with my Wii Wand, and we're like, yeah, that's really going to fucking work.
Now what I need you to do is waggle your Wii wand.
Exactly. You could see what fucking jokes came from that.
You got to waggle it with 3 other friends in the room, too.
Oh,
one of which is a
yeah.
chick, and it just makes it more awkward.
A circle waggle, as it were.
A circle.
Wait. A Nintendo fan with a chick in the room? Surely you jest.
Oh.
Ooh. So how is Club Nintendo this week?
No, things are well. Vodka's still spelled with 5 letters, I'm happy to announce.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on a bit. What's
Now, mind you, I can't back that up. I went to public school.
Oh.
I know.
anyway?
Anyway, moving on. Let me see. Consumerist Magazine has given EA, Electronic Arts, the Golden Poo for 2012, claiming them to be the worst company in America, beating out Bank of America, as well as Sony, Apple, Walmart, PayPal, Comcast, and GameStop. What do you think of that, fellas?
Wow.
Yay.
That says something because this is the same year where everyone lost their personal information on the PSN and couldn't access PSN for like a month and a half or however the fuck
6
long
weeks
that
it
was. Yeah, a month and a half. So yeah, I mean that's saying something right there.
To say
It
you're
really
worse
is.
than Bank of America essentially means that you're worse than every single child predator out there.
True, but to be fair, this is just one magazine's opinion, and I don't know how reputable the consumer is.
Here's the thing: it's not just one magazine's opinion. It's 250,000 people who voted within this entire thing. So we have 250,000 people that think Electronic Arts is worse than Bank of America. While I can definitely say that Electronic Arts has done tons of dick things, like the online pass, which none of us can ever forget. But the fact is that, are they worse than Bank of fucking America and GameStop? Oh my god, no. They're not worse than them.
Bank of America was foreclosing on people illegally. I don't think EA would. Well, actually, you know what? They might foreclose on people illegally if they thought it'd sell a few more million copies of Mass Effect 3. They might.
Will
EA
that get a couple
Finance.
more copies of Madden out there? I think we'll do it.
Yeah.
But just keep
EA
sticking.
Finance. It's in the bag.
Just sticking with EA though. I was just scrolling through the most reputable of game news sites, IGN.
And many lulls were had.
Yes, and many laws were had until I found this article. And anti-gay campaigns target EA. EA is the target of an anti-gay letter writing campaign. The company has received several thousand letters objecting to the inclusion of same-sex relations in recent games. That is
They all came from Mississippi.
funny. That is funny.
And in
Yeah, here's
recent
the
games,
thing.
they mean Mass Effect.
Mass
And
Effect.
Here's
only
the
Mass
thing.
Effect.
Dragon Age
It's all
2.
because Fox News covered the Mass Effect romance thing, and now the Mass Effect romance thing is a gay Mass Effect romance thing. And here's the thing: they keep putting these love scenes in the games because Fox News covers it, and they know that's several billion more or million more copies sold, not billion, but that's several more copies that they're going to sell. So it's kind of EA. EA only has themselves to blame in a way because they're going for the headlines. Well, congratulations,
such
EA.
thing as
Now
bad
you've got
publicity.
the fucking headlines. Basically. Careful what you wish for, EA.
Yeah, but not forgetting that, one of the relationships you could have in Mass Effect 3, from what I've seen, was which actually made me laugh. You could actually have Femshep get off with Jessica Chobot.
Yeah.
I've got a
Here's the
conspiracy
thing.
theory. I think the Consumerist is run by Fox News.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Well, IGN is owned by News Corp, which owns Fox News.
Yep.
So,
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Follow the
Which-
breadcrumb trail.
which is funny because News Corp owns Fox News. Fox News covered Mass Effect unfavorably, but News Corp also owns IGN, which cast one of their journalists as one of the characters in Mass Effect. My head just fucking exploded.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other game that's also been...
Divide and conquer.
The other game that's been slammed for this same-sex relationships in games is also the nice new Star Wars: The Old Republic MMO.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Huh?
but I'm sure that...
Just another
Go on.
BioWare game. Just another BioWare game going for the headlines.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I want to live in a world where I can have Jedi on Jedi action, and I should not be denied of it. I don't care if they have 14 tits or 3 cocks. Everybody should be able to bump uglies and use the Force.
Oh, yes.
It's true.
And when I say use the Force, I mean that in a lot of different
I
ways.
don't think that's true at all.
Wait, are you trying to say there are not anything in fucking the Star Wars universe with 14 tits and 3 cocks?
No, I just don't think that everything should be able to bump uglies.
So you're saying that you don't want to see like some other monster fuck Jabba the Hutt? Or fuck itself, Jabba the Hutt?
I don't know. I mean, if you think about it, if everyone can use the Force, would that make rape more prevalent, or would that eliminate rape?
I don't know, guys.
Stew on that.
This is getting pretty existential for a discussion about Mass Effect lesbian romances, especially considering you can engage in said romances in your second conversation with these characters.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no other podcast on the internet that talks about these things like us.
Yeah. You can only come here for your in-depth analysis of Chewbacca on Chewbacca action.
anywhere else, and we know you stole it.
Yeah. But
So wait, can we copyright Chewbacca on Chewbacca action?
I think we should.
Yes, we can. I think. Well, I think we'd have to own Chewbacca first.
Damn it.
Yeah, and we know George Lucas ain't going for that.
No, he has a rubber fist ready and lubed.
Him and his massive gullet chin thing.
many chins.
Where he hides.
Whoever he bought his wig from probably sold him the same one he stuck on his face.
No,
He's got a Vince McMahon wig, is what he's got.
No, what it is, it's what was left of the Chewbacca suits from the 1977. Anyway,
Okay,
moving on.
continuing on, fellas. Yeah, chaos.
I don't know, man. I'm still stuck on the Vince McMahon wig thing.
We don't care. We don't care for Vince McMahon. This year's WrestleMania sucked balls, so let's move on.
Oh God.
Well, we could have moved on had you not brought it up, but now RazörFist has something stewing in the back of his brain, and he's going to unleash it on all of these fine folks that came to listen to us.
Oh God. What on WrestleMania?
Oh,
Are you going to choke it back? Are you going to choke it back, RazörFist?
I will choke it back. I don't
Choke
even
it back.
want to.
Choke it back. We don't need that. We might need some vitriol later. We'll get back to you in just a little while. But anyway, it's come to that time in the program. In our first hour, we're going to do some listener mail. Magnus, do we have any listener mail for this week or for this hour?
we do.
Then lay it on me.
Oh, for fuck's sake, give me a chance to find it.
You know, with the fact that the word choke it back and then lay it on me has been thrown about like very close within sentences, I'm starting to think that we probably have the most sexually active podcast ever.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I don't.
Are you talking about Bob Crane?
Anyway, emails.
Everyone's going to Google right now. Who the hell is Bob Crane?
Yeah.
No,
Bob
I
Crane,
know who
what the
Bob
fuck?
Crane.
We'll put a picture of him somewhere. I don't know. Anyway. Right, this is from a fellow listener called Kyle Boo, and he was he did
Ooh, dude.
Boo Dude, yes, and he was on about a lot of the Project Rainfall games, so we kind of dumbed it down to the point where we can actually answer it. So basically, he was asking, what do you think fan movements such as the Operation Rainfall debacle, whatever? Do you think these actually work, and what do we foresee happening with the Nintendo localization in the future?
I think the next few years, as far as Nintendo's concerned, is going to be a lot of, if they don't hear from it, they're not going to honor it.
No.
You're going to need to basically come to their front door with a baseball bat and demand things.
Yep.
We should just threaten to kill their cats.
That's not
What?
right.
That's
Then how would they make
I'll
chop suey?
never do that.
I know. I mean,
I'm
and
sorry,
you
they don't
can't
make chop
say
suey in
cats.
Japan, do they?
Yeah, I don't know, fellas. I think Nintendo will continue to be fucking oblivious no matter what the fans do. And this has always been my problem with kind of Japanese game developers in general. We're going to be talking a little bit about JRPGs a little later, but there's always been this kind of insular mentality in Japanese gaming development where it's like, we're just going to make the games and you're going to shut up and like it. And it doesn't really matter if you talk to us. Capcom definitely exemplifies this mentality.
Definitely.
And Square Enix, up until recently, has definitely exemplified this mentality. So it's just kind of like hey, we're going to do what we want, and if you want to buy it, then buy it. And if not, we're going to force you to buy it. We're going to show up at your house in a windowless van and abduct you and force you to buy it.
Give us your debit card now!
Yes, we will. Don't hurt me, please.
Then you just see some guy walking around with a copy of like Mass Effect 4 sticking out of his ass.
You will be playing this.
Yeah. Speaking of which, at some point we need to talk about that DLC ending for Mass Effect 3.
Oh, shit. Save that for hour 2, would you?
Yes.
Anyway, what else does he say, Sean?
Basically, he was asking. That was all he was asking. Oh, and also he says, "Thanks, guys. Keep up the kick-ass podcast. Sincerely, Kyle Boo."
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle.
Glad to, Kyle. We'll be doing it for at least another hour.
Yes.
Another kick-ass hour.
Yes.
Another kick-ass hour.
Let's go.
Anyway, anything else in the mailbox?
We've got another one, but that's.
Are we going to save that for the next hour?
We'll save that for the next hour. But I'm going to jump onto Facebook because if you guys remember, I did ask people to put things up on Facebook regarding what games would they like to see on the 3DS. You know, either
Is that for our weekly poll?
for our weekly poll. We'll do another weekly poll in the second hour, but this is just to recap because we got quite a good response actually. Let's see. What ones would be relevant. Right, we've got a lot of people saying the Mother series of games, but we know that's never going to fucking happen. Somebody said Dr. Mario, which I agree. Now, this one made me laugh. Somebody they should put Action 52 on the Virtual Console. Not the packed version either.
Action
the problem
52. I'm pretty sure
52.
that will seriously end up voiding the warranty on your system if you have it on there.
Yeah, because you'll intentionally throw something.
Oh, yeah.
I
Getting
think
the
they'll just
license-
corrupt the entire console. Like, the entire thing shuts down. It doesn't power on again, and it catches fire if you try.
You'll see,
That will-
there'll be
that
sprites just melting out of the screen.
oh,
Little cheetah men falling out of the fucking disk drive.
no,
That will
they
have
get
the
stuck on the top screen of your DS.
It'll have the added benefit of finally answering the age-old question of how do you acquire rights for a game that nobody wants the rights for?
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to find the rights because somebody just threw them out somewhere.
A bidding war that ends still under $1.
Yeah.
Right, somebody said one which was Devil's World on the Famicom.
Dude,
That
I
Why?
fucking agree. Who said that?
somebody called Max Keo.
All right, Max, you're fucking awesome for saying that because Devil World is. Oh my god, dude, I've wanted to see that game like over on U.S. shores. It never made its way. I've been trying to get a hold of a PAL copy of it. Very good game. If nobody's ever heard of it, just download a ROM of it because fuck it, it's a ROM and it's free.
You better
But,
off.
To be
it's-
fair, it's more or less Nintendo Pac-Man.
Yeah, go for
It's really not a bad game.
go for the Famicom version because you haven't got all the religious censoring in it.
That's very true.
Also, somebody said they should put Killer Instinct Gold on the DS. Now,
It'd be fun.
to be honest, in my opinion, I think they should actually do a whole new Killer Instinct game for the 3DS.
They should.
Well, I don't think they could because Rare is first-party Microsoft now.
Well, here's the thing. We also got to
are?
remember that Rare did Donkey Kong Country, and they still got to do Donkey Kong Country Returns, and they also got to do the Diddy Kong games on Game Boy Advance or DS or
Yeah,
whatever.
but that's different because that's a Nintendo property. That's Donkey Kong.
Mm.
If with Killer Instinct, I think Killer Instinct is just flat out a Rare property because they invented it.
I think it is.
So if any future Killer Instinct game were to come out, and I really hope it does because I love that fucking game,
Hell yes.
it would have to be on 360, I guess.
See,
or
the thing
next
is, I actually thought Nintendo had some kind of stake in it. I mean, I could be wrong because I wouldn't be
No, 'cause,
surprised if
I mean,
Rare
it
owned
appeared on
100% rights to it.
it appeared on Sega, so I guess it couldn't have. Or did it appear on Sega? I can't even remember.
No, I don't think Killer Instinct appeared on Sega, but if it did, somebody please leave a comment in the doodad
Yeah,
down below.
let me
Let
know
us
because I'm blanking. I know it was obviously on arcades and shit, but
No, it was a rare intellectual property, only released on arcade, Super NES, and Game Boy.
There we go.
oh, okay. Yeah, so I guess maybe Nintendo has a little bit of a stake in it. I have no idea.
Yeah. Somebody else put a new Goemon game up.
I mean, bottom line is that fans want.
What?
Fans want.
Hello?
Hello? Alpha?
Oh no, I'm here.
You
Dude,
say
I
it?
seriously broke up real bad on my end.
He was
Yeah,
playing possum.
Yes.
He cut out there. I don't know what happened.
I'm sorry, ladies
But
and
anyway.
gentlemen, we appear to be having technical difficulties.
Meaning
So-
technically we had a difficulty.
Yes.
So the last.
Okay, now I hear you guys really well. Sorry about that. I don't know why, but everything went slow motion with talking, and then, yeah, now it's back. Hopefully, you can just cut all this bullshit out.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. So one of the
And
guys
it's doing
said.
it again.
What,
Fucking hell.
one of the Facebook guys said new Geemon game.
Yep, no,
Or
new
Goemon.
Goemon game. I don't know how you fucking pronounce.
I've
never
fucking
played it.
I love Mystical Ninja, and that would be freaking rad.
That would be
I love
awesome.
those games.
Let's
Miss-
see. Well, we can read out another one. Divine Edwards says, since I'm into bullet hell shooters right now, I would like to see a remake of the Twin Bee game. Anime cutscenes and all. You're gonna like that, RazörFist.
I've never played it, so I can't really judge.
Yeah, even a new foray into the series would be great. Yeah, I agree. You know, get some more shooters onto the system because what shooters are actually on the 3DS at the moment? From what there's
Cave Story.
Dream Trigger, Cave Story, and then there was
Kid Icarus Uprising in its own special way.
in its own special way, which I do actually own now, and it is fucking fantastic. But I just like Yellkaos says, I wish they'd shut the fuck up when you're playing.
Yeah.
You know, you're taking all of the steam out of my next episode of the 3DS Chronicles.
I don't know.
That was the one joke I had written. Fuck you, man.
Oh. Another one. Somebody says, right, oh my god, let's see. Fucking hell. Turok, the 2 Seeds of Evil. Oh my god, that is an FPS that needs to be made for the 3DS. Yeah, I agree, because it's another use for the fucking Circle Pad Pro then. I've actually got another use for the thing anyway. Instead of it just being an obligatory piece of plastic shit that you just buy for your Nintendo, I actually use it for Kid Icarus Uprising, and it actually works just as good as the easel that comes with the fucking Kid Icarus.
I mean, guys, Turok, Game On, all these games you guys are recommending, they're great and all, but I think what everybody's really, really clamoring for is a new Daikatana for the 3DS. Am I right?
Oh yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've had a few mentions of Majora's Mask, but I think that's pretty much in the bag anyway, because they've made a time they have to put that in at some point.
Well, if they're going to do Majora's Mask, there needs to be a new Zelda adventure on this piece of hardware before that happens.
Yeah.
I just really, come on. But I'm going to take this time right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with everybody about my political cause I'm championing of bringing F-Zero X from the Nintendo 64 onto the 3DS. And I'm not sure what kind of petition I'm going to have to start, but this is going to be a full spread movement. This is going to be bigger than that Coney thing, man. It's going to be great. And you people, anyone listening, you need to get with me. Leave a fucking comment. Leave it on the Facebook, whatever. We're going to do something, and we're going to bring this. And I don't even care if they don't bring it, but I want some fucking F-Zero representation inside the next few years because this is bullshit. Anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Magnus?
I'm on board with you, brother.
Yes.
See, we got a thing going here. Anyway.
But I think what the best policy would be is if we make another Facebook fan page and try and get the whole 100,000 likes on the damn thing, just like Mega Man Legends 3.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, and you see how well that worked out.
Yeah, well, it's on its way. It's on its way. Just.
Yeah.
That's sending it to Capcom, who never fucking listen to anybody.
Yeah, but as soon as it gets to like 200,000 likes, somebody we know is gonna be like, well, if you get to 2.1 million likes.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh.
No, but that's what's so weird about, speaking of Capcom just ignoring people. It's so weird because if you go to CapcomUnity.com, they have like a more community-oriented website than any I've ever seen, really. And yet they're like, hey, we're going to make all this for you, and then we're going to turn our backs and go do whatever the fuck we want and ignore you motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we're going to be assholes, and you're going to pay us for it. How do you feel?
Basically, there's even a whole section where you can say, this is the game I want you to make. There's literally a suggestion part of the whole Capcom Unity site, and I can't count on both hands how many times I've said, new Breath of Fire game, goddammit. And everybody ignores it.
Yeah, I miss Breath of Fire.
I do too.
I've been dying for a Breath of Fire game for years now.
Well,
it was my first RPG, as a matter of fact, was the original Breath of Fire. So.
Well, I won't shit on your first RPG then.
Oh, you were planning on doing it up until now?
No, I could do now though, but I'm not that much of an asshole.
I find it disturbing that you have plans to shit on random things. You're just kind of lying in wait to go and just dump your ass on something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Who's to say they're random?
random.
You're like the AVGN, you got a fecal fixation.
It might be predetermined,
Yeah.
It could be going off a list.
I don't know.
And
I'm gonna shit on Danny DeVito. I'm gonna. That doesn't sound like that would be that hard.
no, right. Let's get on with it.
Yeah. What was the other? Did you guys want me to throw one of my stories out there?
Yeah, let's get one of your stories out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the Ubisoft came out this past week and they've been disseminating more details about Assassin's Creed 3 as the weeks have gone on. They said, and I'm sure everybody will have a rousing cheer when they hear this, that Assassin's Creed 3 will feature more segments with Desmond than ever.
Yeah.
So
Fucking
3 cheers
God.
for Captain Personality.
Fucking God. Right. You play the sections as
Hip, hip,
Desmond.
hooray.
You play the sections as Desmond on Assassin's Creed 1. He's got a fucking bedroom to run around in. That's it.
Yep.
You
Yep.
play him on Assassin's Creed 2. He's got a warehouse to run around in.
Yeah.
You play it in Brotherhood. You've got an entire town to play with that you played with in the second game. Revelations. He's trapped inside the Animus. Oh, for fuck's sake! What are they going to do with him now? Hook him up to life support and have him roll around in a fucking wheelchair or something?
They should kill him.
Yes,
Kill him.
just kill him.
I'm so fucking tired of Desmond. It's not even fun. We were tired of Desmond in Assassin's Creed 1, were we not?
I was sick of
I mean,
Desmond in Assassin's Creed 1.
It was
I
nice.
hoped he'd fucking die.
It was nice to have some FaceTime with Kristen Bell, because, I mean, it's always nice to have FaceTime with Kristen Bell, let's be real here.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it was pretty insufferable to be, walking around at the speed of a tectonic fucking plate.
Yeah, but then at the end of Assassin's Creed fucking Brotherhood, he kills the fucking only person that had more fucking personality than him.
Yeah. Ugh. Insufferable.
Do you ever get the idea that people are buying these games just to see Desmond die a bloody mess?
Yeah, I have that feeling.
Maybe there's going to be a mini game with just that.
If they promised that, I would buy my first Assassin's Creed game since 1.
Kill
I would-
Desmond.
Yeah.
It has the Blues Brothers music, do 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 do.
That should be the title, as a matter of fact. Assassin's Creed Kill Desmond.
Killed.
Forget this
With a
cliche-
hammer.
Forget this cliche bullshit with Brotherhood and Revelations, and I'm sure the inevitable Armageddon or some other cliche subtitle. Just kill
Yeah,
Desmond.
Armageddon is going to be coming up. I can foresee that. Or maybe Assassin's Creed Revenge. We'll have that.
Returns.
Well, what have they had? They've had Bloodlines, they've had Discovery, they've had Brotherhood, they've had Revelations, they've had 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
They're gonna have 3. They've had Lineage. I'm wondering when they're
Maybe
gonna
we
run
can
out
have-
of subtitles for these fucking games.
No, because then they're going to have Let's Dance 10, Assassin's Creed. It'll happen.
Assassin's Creed Edition. Now, the only cool character that they've ever had in the Assassin's Creed franchise, and that was Altair.
Yep, damn right.
Altair was such a badass, and then you got this bloody Italian that can't keep his dick in his pants.
Yeah.
That's the best way to describe him.
You'll have to be more specific.
Ezio. Ezio
I said
Auditore. Oh, fuck.
I hate Ezio. I flat out hate him. That man's accent did more damage to the Italian people than the fucking Mussolini regime.
Yes.
That's my opinion.
Anyway. Have we finished ranting about Assassin's Creed, or do you think we could go off for another 10 minutes?
We
I
could
love
talk.
the fact that we have the option.
Yes, we have
We
the
can do
option.
whatever
I think we should
it's-
blow off for another 10 minutes.
It's the Hate Bit podcast. We can do whatever the ever loving fuck we
hate,
want.
hate.
What?
Yep. But no, so what about Mass Effect 3? The DLC ending?
Bah.
Yeah.
Bah. Why can't people just be satisfied with the way somebody's ended a fucking story? Right?
Well,
Imagine if Mary Shelley had this option to just, send somebody a different ending.
yeah. I don't know, guys. Usually when a story has a bad ending, they just call it a bad story and move the fuck on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Well, the ending in Mass Effect 3, right? I've heard all the fucking spiel with it. I know a lot of people that have finished it and they've gone, oh, well, the ending wasn't that bad. It was closure to the... It was just basically, 3 endings, you got a choice of what to do, and then, boom, that was it. Because at the end of the day, it was a trilogy for Shepard. That was it. That's
Yeah.
all Mass Effect is a trilogy of Shepard trying to save the fucking galaxy. And then we've got fucking inconsiderate gamers who don't give a flying fuck about the ending properly. They're just going, oh yeah, we've played it, we've finished it. Then we've got all these diehards that go, I didn't like that ending. Let's go and bastardize it and just say we need the ending changed. For fuck's sake, the game's been complete for fucking months.
No, look, the game does. Here, I'm going to come out definitively and say the ending doesn't need to be changed.
No, it doesn't.
It's a bad ending for a bad game, and that's how it should stay. as a solemn testament to the fact that this game was massively disappointing and just flat out not good.
And the best game
If
in
you
the
think
series
about
will
it, it's a
always be
great
2.
ending because it's over.
Yeah, but having played Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 and loved both those games, and then I was going to go out and buy Mass Effect 3, you know, just to complete the story, and then after hearing all this fucking spiel, it's a piece of shit, I'm not even going to bother. I'm going to wait till it's £10 in the fucking bottom of a bargain bin.
That's a good move right there. You know, it's probably worth $10. You know, pretty much. I can't fucking stand the game, but the ending is like the cherry on top of the turd smoothie, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm. And that turd smoothie doesn't taste very nice at all.
I would never.
Well, if you're
assume
into that kind of
would
thing.
made a smoothie.
Well, I ain't German, so ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, or in Vietnam they call them boba.
Oh God. Anyway, let's move on from one turd smoothie to another. What's next?
Well, next we want to talk about 3D gaming relevance. Is it really necessary for everything to be striving towards 3D gaming in this day and age?
Oh, Christ.
Right. Where do we start?
Well, we can start right here with the goddamn Nintendo 3DS.
Right. One of the main things I hate about the 3DS is the fucking 3D. It's not fucking necessary. Right? It slows down the fucking frame rate of the game by probably about 3 or 4 frames, so it looks fucking garbage. It hurts your eyes after fucking 20 fucking seconds of looking at the damn thing.
Yeah, it does.
You know, if you've been silly enough to buy a 3D display for the fucking for your TV, for example, you sat at home looking like a prat, playing games that probably shouldn't really need 3D. One example.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo 5. Why did they put 3D in Gran Turismo 5?
Yeah.
It's just
The
not
longer,
relevant.
you know, the longer it goes on, the more I think the video game industry is aware of the fact that 3D is not the future. Really, it's just, to them, it's just another peripheral that they can sell. That's what it is.
Well, let's put it in 2 words. Virtual Boy.
Oh yeah, Virtual Boy. That pretty much says it all right there. But I mean,
Actually, if you think about it, that says nothing. The Virtual Boy was a vain attempt at virtual reality, which virtual reality and 3D are absolutely mutually exclusive. I don't understand why they're used so interchangeably.
At the end of the day, it was a 3D system.
Sure.
It was an
but,
attempt at a 3D system. None of those games really took advantage of the 3D. Like, I mean, look at
Mario
most of
Tennis
their
did to some degree.
to some degree, but really most of those games aren't 3D at all. They just look like regular ass games that, it's just like, well, we put more emphasis on the foreground. Well, we put more emphasis on the background. All right, now you can't see for half an hour. That's it.
Well, it just goes to show that they're not paying attention to anything. 3D failed to capture audiences in the 50s. It failed to capture audiences in the 70s. It failed in the 80s, and it failed in the 90s. They just tried to call it virtual reality, and I think that's where the interchangeability stems from.
Mm-hmm.
But, they usually say 3rd time's the charm. This is number 6.
Yeah. It just keeps
It's not going to work. If people want to act like, want to feel that they're there, they'll fucking go there.
And really, at the end of the day, we have James Cameron to thank for this bullshit.
Yeah.
Because he's
Fucking
like,
Avatar.
well, this time it's going to stay because we found a way to make it really, really high res. And was Avatar at the end of the day all that high res with the 3D?
No.
Fucking no. Absolutely
I think the only thing that I remember that was actually 3D was the fact when fucking Jake Sully gets inside that bloody blue orangutan that he fucking runs around in half the fucking film. Is when he's running along, he says, "Oh look, I'm about 8 feet tall and I can run." And then you see gravel coming out of your face. That's the only thing I can remember that's 3D in the whole fucking film.
Yeah.
You
The
know,
only thing
one
I
of
could
the
ever
main.
think of. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, but I honestly think the main way that 3D is going to be relevant within gaming, or really in anything, you know, movies and TV shows, etc., is if it's built from the ground up to take advantage of 3D, and it's not just an afterthought tacked on to take advantage of, you know, a bunch of people who think that they're going to get more bang for their buck by seeing it in pseudo 3D.
Yeah. And that's really the problem at the end of the day is the stuff that's made from the ground up for 3D is usually desultory fucking garbage like carnival games and, you know, playing Wii golf and shit like that. Those kind of little mini game, kind of family game
Well, I mean,
shit.
what we ultimately need is like, okay, if we took, you know, we'll take Nintendo for the biggest example because they have a dedicated 3D system, but if Nintendo goes and says, hey, we are going to make this game right now, and it's going to be, you know, the shit, and it's going to be built from the ground up. Like, for instance, okay, how about F-Zero? What if the next F-Zero game was built from the ground up to be a 3D racing game and to really take advantage of the hardware? Then it would probably be good, despite the fact that you're going to have tons of eye strain and everything after fucking 20 minutes of going around the tracks and everything. But the fact is, if the 3D is done well and done right and done purposefully and not an afterthought, then, you know, it could be cool.
It could.
Correct.
It could.
Could is the word that we're going to put in bold-face print and have underlined 50 fucking times with neon lights pointing at it.
Yes.
Yeah, could.
It could, in the same way that Microsoft could make a good first-party game.
Or maybe a good fucking console.
Split out. Yeah.
I'm sorry. There might be a lot of Xbox fanboys that listen to this podcast, and a lot of PlayStation fanboys that listen to this podcast. And you know what? Fanboys, fuck off. Because I don't really give a shit, right? I don't give a shit that your console's more reliable than mine, or it does this over this. It's just a fucking computer that you play a game with. Get a fucking
They really
grip.
sound like these faggots who stand in parking lots and talk about how big that this engine in this car is a 4-barrel carburetor. Who gives a fuck?
Well, they do, because their dicks are extremely small and they need something to brag about, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
That's kind of like.
I guess.
It's kind of like Xbox fanboys. They're the fucking worst. You know,
no,
they go, oh,
you know,
I've got an Xbox 360. Mine is better than yours. You've got a PlayStation. You are Beelzebub. And
Here's
you
the thing,
suck."
I can't even say that any fanboy is better than another, because all fanboys at the end of the day should be lumped together and lit on fucking fire and thrown off a bridge.
You know what I think they should do? You know at Cape Canaveral they've got that big Saturn V rocket thing.
Yeah.
You know what they should do? They should fill that sucker up with some fucking rocket fuel. Stick every single fucking Xbox fanboy, Nintendo fanboy, fucking PlayStation fanboy, all into this fucking giant pit. You know, they might have to fucking dig it about a couple of miles deep just to throw all them stupid fuckheads in there. Stick the rocket on top as like a nice little lid. Fire the cunting thing off. Collect all the ashes at the bottom. You know, there's going to be a fair few fucking ashes, and then we'll give them to we'll give it to Bill Gates to snort up his fucking nose, because I'm sure he's on.
Yes.
I wonder if he snorted Steve Jobs' ashes.
Oh,
He's like, I win.
Poor Steve Jobs.
We have somebody right now commenting, "You motherfucker, Yellkaos."
I know.
Yeah.
Poor
You could
Steve
bash a lot
Jobs,
of-
my dick.
And speaking of,
Steve Jobs is the piece of shit that gave us the Bandai Pippin. Fuck him and anybody who looks like him.
well, let's just since we're on the the fucking fanboyism sort of bullshit.
I thought you were going to say we should talk about the Pippin. I was going to be like, what can we talk about?
Well, I know. I'll be
Well,
honest.
Steve Jobs
I know.
is a piece of shit, and I'm glad he's dead.
Wow.
That's kind of
Okay, buddy.
No, but I'm on this fucking rant about fucking fanboy.
Don't bail out on me now, goddammit.
I've not bailed out on you. We're fucking. If you just let me say what I'm trying to say, then we'll get on with it.
Please do.
Right. Speaking of fucking fanboys, right? These fucking PC fanboys, console fanboys. That fucking old chestnut of a war, I'm in the PC camp, and I've got a fucking machine that bakes fucking bread and does this, that, and the other. Nobody gives a fuck. I like consoles because they're cheap and I can play decent games on them. You know, whenever I fucking please and not have to install the fucking thing. Oh, wait, I have a PlayStation 3. Got to install on that. Anyway.
I don't really care either way because I have 2 computers and a gajillion consoles. So that to me is the best gaming experience because I don't miss out on anything and I don't say something's better than the other because every single console has something I'll want on it, except for the Bandai Pippin. That has nothing.
Yes, that's true. All that.
The Bandai Pippin has a rubber band wheel and a hamster, and
that hamster's been dead, man. It's been dead.
That hamster's been dead for a month. Well, 20 fucking years, I'd say.
Well, since we're having this discussion, I should probably bring up that on the Facebook page, we had a little bit of piece of mail from Elliot Nichols Love, or Bravo Elliot, who asked us to give a quick discussion about PC gaming as he's recently switched from console to PC, and he's really enjoying it, far more than on the console, and he would like to know our views on it. Elliot, I'd just like you to know that if you're listening right now, before the podcast, Sainted Magnus called you a traitor, and I would like the conversation to continue from there. So, for Bravo Elliot, PC gaming can kiss my dick with the exception of Sims, and that's it.
No, okay, guys, okay. I like PC gaming. As a matter of fact, at heart, I am a PC gamer because I feel like even when you play the multiplats on PC, they're usually better because you can crank up the graphics on them.
Well, because they started with PC and then dumped them down for the consoles.
Yes.
Yeah, you get the nice mods, you get fan missions.
You have the choice of you can use a controller or a mouse and keyboard.
You're damn right. And sometimes I do either or. Like I have Silent Hill 2 Director's Cut for PC. And I use a controller on that. I get a USB controller, and it's great. It's freaking fantastic.
Now, I feel like I'm going to get ganged up on here for saying that statement, and thank you very much, Yellkaos, for putting me on the fucking spot.
You just have been, you insufferable British twat.
No, twat. Twat.
Yeah, there's an apostrophe.
You say more
in
posh
there
than I do when you say it like that. But anyway, right. Just the whole traitor thing, you know, I'm just gonna.
Don't defend yourself, goddammit! It's a hate bit podcast, and you will be hateful. I command you.
Can I fucking elaborate on it? Fucking
Please
hell.
do.
Fuck me, Jesus Christ! It's like
The gods have decreed.
the sainted one has decreed.
Third person.
Anyway,
But on the subject of PC gaming, I'll be talking about it a little bit more in the rant section, particularly on the subject of DRM, which I feel is the only major drawback of PC gaming, and it is a major pain in the balls.
right. I'm just going on to my little shiting thoughts about PC gaming. The only reason I'm not a PC gamer is because I can't afford a £2,500 fucking gaming rig to play games like Mass Effect, Deus Ex, Halo, fucking Halo 2 and all that shite on there. That's why I buy consoles, so I can go out and buy them because I play all my multiplats on there. Plus I've got my nice little exclusives every now and again, which isn't all that bad. Now, I started out on PC, right? I started out on PC. My dad bought a decent fucking machine. I could play Jedi Knight, Thief. I could play Interstate 76 and 82 on there and have, hours and hours of fun. Then we got the PlayStation in the house and we got hold of the Sega Saturn. Sad memories. But anyway.
Yeah. I think you and me, Sainted, I think we fall into the same category. We didn't abandon PC gaming. PC gaming kind of abandoned us because we just flat out got left in the dust because we couldn't afford it anymore, basically.
Yes, exactly.
I feel the same way.
Now that's why I said traitor.
The thing is, PC gaming has come a long way because of one major thing, and this is, in my opinion, what's kept it alive and running, and definitely is keeping it super relevant, and that's Steam. Yes. If it wasn't for Steam right now, PC gaming would be ultra fucked, and even if people don't want to admit that, it really is the truth. Steam is a wonderful, wonderful product.
I can't wait for the Steam box.
Steam is in fact just downloadable content.
Yeah, I think it's Steam and websites like goodoldgames.com, shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, the stuff where you have this massive online service where you got a huge library of games, relatively cheap to download them all. You get exclusive shit on Steam. It's great.
Oh, most definitely.
You know.
But there is one thing I do like about Steam, and I'm looking forward to, I hope they do release this Steam box, because I like Steam. You know, I got Steam way back when Half-Life 2 came out, and that was the last proper game I bought for the PC was Half-Life 2. And I had to apply for this Steam account. Now, I can see why, because it's, instead of it being tied to your machine, like another fucking download service that we know, EA Origins, fucking cunts. It's actually tied to your account, which is it's fantastic news. You know, you can, you know, you log on, you've got all your games there. So if you change hardware, you just re-download the game and you pick up where you left off because it saves it directly onto the cloud.
Yeah.
So that's the good thing about Steam. The bad thing about Steam, it's all downloadable content, and I don't like
It's
downloadable
cloud
content.
gaming, and the cloud will not always be there.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
cloud gaming, but it's downloaded cloud, not cloud.
Well, yeah,
that's-
and at the end of the day, when you download something, usually there's something in the license agreement that just flat out says you don't own this game. Steam is not one of those services, though. You do technically own the games, and you can, if you close
I've
your
read
Steam account.
otherwise.
Well, yeah, it depends. It kind of varies from game to game, but in most cases, you
Yeah,
can
okay.
download your game and leave Steam, no questions asked.
Exactly.
In
Because
most
I was going
cases.
to buy the Back to the Future game on Steam, and then I saw that in the clause. I'm like, well, then I'm not buying your fucking game. I'll wait for it on the Wii. And
Yeah.
it eventually came out, which I was amazed.
Yes. Not only that, it's coming out on the PlayStation 3, and it uses the Move.
Sweet.
So, another...
For all 6 of
Wow.
us that own the PlayStation Move.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay! Even though I'm buying the Wii version, because it still looks good.
You can go have a great big dildo party.
Yes. You can waggle your arms all night. Waggle your Wii wands. Come on.
Wii wands. Yeah, I think we should get... I think we should campaign to have the Wiimote changed again to the Wii wand.
Yes. The Wii shaft.
The Wii
No,
shaft.
because then it's going to make people who stutter sound like assholes. We won.
We won. Yeah, just wait till you got a fucking accent as well. We won.
Hey, if we're gonna do that, why stop there? Rename the Kinect and the Move. Rename Move to like the PlayStation's fonts or something.
Yeah, but I always like the natal. I always thought natal sounded good for the X. Yeah, the Xbox natal. That
The PlayStation. Oh, the PlayStation Crank. There you go.
So we're just going
Because
to
then people
call
call
it
it the PlayStation
cocaine.
cock.
we're gonna call. Well, I'll call my PlayStation 2 the Office Block because that's what it looks like. The Wii I'll call. Well, I don't know. A joke, maybe.
Slimline toaster.
I'm gonna call my Xbox the Factory because it's about the size of a fucking factory block.
You're thinking of the original Xbox because it is massive.
Oh yeah, I was tidying up the other day and I picked up that thing and I forgot how heavy it was. And I was like, oh fuck you know.
I know.
Not
my,
nearly
my
as much as the
TV
Philips CDI.
My TV is lighter than my Xbox.
That's actually true. The TV I use is fucking lighter than the bloody Xbox. I'm telling you.
At least you
Did
have
anybody
a
ever
home
see the
defense
Philips
system.
CDI
though.
machine?
Say again.
You ever see the Philips CDI machine?
Yeah, that's like a fucking space station.
The fucking city block, man.
Dude,
It
it's
was-
even bigger than the Atari 5200.
it dwarfed the Atari 5200.
That's no moon. That's a Philips CDI.
That's no moon. That's a space.
When you bring it into your house and set it on the floor, it changes the gravitational pull of the particular area in which you're standing.
Oh god.
You will feel your floor warp when you put the Philips CDI on the ground.
Anyway,
Anyway,
well,
moving on.
yeah. What topic are we up to? Because I think we've lost track.
I don't
Well,
even
right now,
know.
we're going to talk about the decline of Japanese roleplay games
Yes.
in general. And RazörFist wants to talk about this.
I certainly do. I think we all want to talk about it, quite frankly.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
all got the-
Except for Yellkaos.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't have as much to say, and I feel left out, but I'll chime in as best I
Well,
can.
let's get it out of the way then. What have you got to say about it?
Well, simply... Oh, you mean Yellkaos?
Yeah, no, yeah, chaos. Well,
Do it, man.
yeah, come on, get on with it.
Pick it up.
I just I'm sick and tired of that goddamn little blue squishy thing from Dragon Quest.
Oh, God.
The slime.
The slime.
You-
Slime. Fuck that.
You're gonna piss off one of our biggest listeners.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Johnny.
I have
Anyway.
pixel art of the healing slime.
You know,
actually.
I've only played maybe like a dozen or 24 RPGs in my lifetime, so I'm not really the guy to ask.
Is
I
that
just
every
can't
single?
stand real-time inventory control. But anyway, RazörFist, you're the expert. Please have at it.
Well, I mean, I got into RPGs via JRPGs like most people. I mean, shoot, Sainted Alpha, tell me if I'm wrong, but I imagine your first RPGs were probably Japanese, right?
They
Like
were.
Final Fantasy or something.
Final Fantasy, Fantasy Star, Breath of Fire, Pokemon.
Yeah, all good. All
No
good
one ever
shit.
counts
Pokemon.
Legend of Zelda.
Well, Legend of Zelda is an adventure game.
It's an adventure game, not an RPG.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still consider Legend of Zelda 2 to be an RPG.
The games all have RPG elements in the sense that there's upgrades and shit, but it's not a pure RPG, really.
Well, because,
But-
yeah.
But at the end of the day, I like Japanese RPGs, and I wish they were as good as they were in the late 80s or early 90s. I think we can all fucking agree on that.
Yes.
Yes, wholeheartedly.
Sure,
over the-
why not?
I'd say, I'd say
He
over
did
the
say
la-
he would chime in.
Yes, he did.
I'd say over the last console generation, the PS2 era particularly, it was a lot. They just got to be a lot of JRPG shovelware. You know, it was like everybody saw the success of Final Fantasy VII, which I did a whole video about, and I'm convinced Final Fantasy VII was the beginning of the end for JRPGs. Everybody tried to like mimic Final Fantasy VII. It was like, oh, we can all have an amnesiac, epicene little emo fanboy, you know, as the main character, and he can have big-tittied squad mates and have romances, and that'll fill in for actual creative vision. But I think really the ultimate problem was that Japanese game development, number one, Japanese games don't sell as well as they used to, so Japan's influence is greatly reduced. And number two, they just got really insular. Instead of reaching out to the West, they've gotten to the point where there are entire video game studios in Japan that have never released a game in America and never want to and never plan on it. Because it's like, we know better than you. You wouldn't like our games, blah 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 blah. And that's how you end up with situations like with Nintendo. Half of their fucking library for the Wii hasn't been released in America. It's like there's all these games they just refuse to bring over here. You know,
And a lot of them are
but they
already
bring
in
us up.
fucking English.
Yeah. A lot of them have English mode already on them.
Only because
But-
they were released over here first.
I think that's it. I think it's just fundamentally they looked at Final Fantasy 7, 8, 10, and they were like, let's do more of that.
What happened to
And
9?
that's how you end up with garbage like Tabula Rasa.
Mhm.
Or not Tabula Rasa, Magna Carta. Sorry, I got my Latin phrases mixed up. But Magna Carta, Tabula Rasa wasn't bad actually. MMO.
Somebody listening to this is shitting their pants because you badmouth Tabula Rasa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tabula Rasa was good actually. I liked it. But no, Magna Carta is a piece of shit. And
I like how happy you said that too. Like you were excited to say that. You're like, it's such a piece of shit. Like with a big,
It really
big old
is.
grin.
And then he had some of his Happy Meal.
yes. But I don't know.
Speaking of...
Surely you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We do. They don't.
I mean, the last good JRPG, can you guys even name the last good JRPG you played? And I mean in terms of when it was released, recent? Lost Odyssey, for me, is like the last one.
Lost Odyssey is a fucking absolute, probably one of the best JRPGs ever. And I'll
Yeah.
actually like say that with a straight face. If somebody argues with me, I'll be like, "Did you play it?"
Yeah,
Because there's no way you could say it's a bad game. It has an amazing fucking story. To me, it was honestly, to me, and anybody can be like, fuck you for saying this. A lot of people know I don't like Final Fantasy 13. Lost Odyssey, to me, is the official Final Fantasy 13 that was not named Final Fantasy
you know,
13.
it really is. It really is. If you pause and actually just replace it in your mind with Lost
Yeah.
Odyssey, it's like you can live in a happy land where Final Fantasy is still good.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's an amazing game, but this generation in consoles, we did get snubbed hardcore with it, and you are right. I mean, the Japanese influence is like taking a backseat, but that's mostly in turn because over in Japan and shit, you know, the games aren't selling like worth a damn. They only have a couple franchises that they go out of their way to purchase. So you got all these smaller time developers who can't put out the stuff. Dev kits are not cheap by any means. Getting a publisher to jump on board is always risky for them because they're like, can we actually bank off of this? I mean, there's so many fucking variables to throw in, and I don't know. It's just I really do miss last gen because there was a lot of cool stuff. I think most notably like stuff like the Shin Megami series was really strong last gen. We had Shadow Hearts, which I thought was out of left field and was extremely badass. The Tales games, they were really good. I mean, there's a whole fuck ton. It just kind of sucks that now we don't really have many of that stuff at all.
I like my action RPGs. You know, when you're running around with a sword and beating the fuck out of things. I've always loved the Phantasy Star Online series of games. I've always liked the Phantasy Star Universe series of games, which progressed onto the PSP as Phantasy Star Portable. But now we've got the Master of Hardness, which is the Dark Souls and Demon Souls games, and I fucking love them. And they're supposed to be Western RPGs, but they're made in Japan. So
they're kind of like
pseudo JRPG, really. I'd say.
They're kind of like Japan. They're kind of like Japan throwing one of our RPGs back at us. It reminds me a lot, and I've said it before. It's one of the reasons I don't really care for it. It's very much just a dungeon crawler. There's very little story there at all. So it's like
I agree.
I mean, there's a story, but it's like really convoluted and it's not very fleshed out.
But anyway, what the fuck story, really?
It's kind of like Diablo. It's like they played a lot of Diablo, and then they were like, let's kind of do this, but flesh out the combat more. And then, like, we'll add a whole online competitive component and shit like that. There's some cool ideas, especially with the online.
Well, the thing is, with games like that, story and character development all take a backseat, and it's about the adventure and actual experience overall.
Yeah. But I still don't care for Demon Souls or Dark Souls.
I find Demon Souls better than Dark Souls, in my opinion. But that's because I've played more of Demon Souls than I did Dark Souls. Because I just can't get my head into it at the moment.
Yeah, I've heard Dark Souls isn't as good as Demon Souls, but I don't know.
Well, you need to own a PS3 to really enjoy Demon Souls.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I've played it on PS3. I just don't really.
Personally, right now, the only thing I'm still waiting for like a Persona 5.
Well,
that's really about it. I mean, a lot of people, if you love the series, yay. If you don't love it, that's understandable. But the thing is, Persona 3 and Persona 4, as much as I love them, I really do not want to go back to the whole thing of you're a high school student and you're going through school every day. Because I've had 2 fucking installments now that have done that. For the love of fucking God, please take the road that Persona 2 did and make people like adults and make a really fucked up storyline. Not to say that the other ones weren't fucked up, but Persona 2 is still my favorite. And I don't know. I really want to see another one because the Persona team, a bunch of talented ass motherfuckers, and we really need one on a console, like desperately.
Well, I've just recently bought Persona 2 on the PSP, so I'm gonna crack that in and give it a good play to find out how good it actually is, because I hear so many good things about the series, so it'll be quite interesting to take advantage of getting hold of Persona 2 and actually enjoying it.
It's really worth getting a hold of. And the one thing that shocked some people when I told them this, and this was like quite a few months ago, but GameStop was selling Persona 2, the limited collector's edition that comes with the soundtrack and all that. They were selling it brand new for $20. And I about just like shit myself. I was like, are you serious? Because I still didn't get the game I was supposed to, and I didn't. And I ran out and I bought it. Granted, I'm supporting the devil in doing this, but, for $20 and everywhere else was still selling it for like $40, I couldn't really argue because, I mean, Shin Megami games all have like their little satanic references. So if I'm supporting the devil buying it, I'm still supporting the devil. So it doesn't matter where I get it.
It's alright, we're metalheads and gamers and we're supposed to respect the goat, aren't we, or something?
Yeah.
But, just...
That's what Fox News would have you believe anyway.
Oh, no, but just going back to this whole, JRPGs. Another one I've recently picked up on the PSP was Lord of Arcana, which is kind of, it's an action-ish RPG, which is pretty cool. And from what I've played of it at the moment, it's just like you run up and you've got the whole. You see a monster, you go into like a battle mode, you fight them with actual attacks, and then you get the whole win animation at the end of it. That's all I find with it at the moment, and that's another Western sort of JRPG.
You know what game I always loved the battle system on? Actually, there were two games that had like the same battle system, and they were both on N64, which is not known for having good RPGs. Was one was Quest 64, which had a really freaking cool battle system with the circles, and you could run around wherever you wanted in the circle, and if the enemy was in the circle, then you could hit them. And then there was like a bigger circle around that, so that if you wanted to run away, you had to like each turn move your circle over further, and then eventually you could just run out. It was really badass. It was deep. It was kind of real time. It was turn based, but not really. You had more control. But the other game that had that battle system, I'm blanking on the title of it, but it was a more realistic like fantasy RPG something about magic. I don't know. But anyways, I always liked that. I wish JRPGs would push the limits of the battle systems more, because the shit they're doing in Final Fantasy 13 with the battle system that essentially fucking plays with itself.
Yeah,
it's getting old, man.
It's auto battle, and you just get to be there and act like you're interacting with it and putting some kind of thought into it.
Press A button, win. That's it.
Pretty much.
You want to know what battle system I still love to absolute death and didn't get bored of grinding? Was fucking the Star Ocean games.
Oh yeah.
The Star Ocean games were just like insanely like well, I mean it also helps that you could level up to level 250, 255, some shit like that. Yeah. And I mean running around in those, that was really nice, because I mean for the longest time I was going through turn-based combat after turn-based combat in all the different games I was playing, and then here comes Star Ocean. And this was the second story on PS1 whenever I had first experienced it. I was like, holy shit, this is flat out fucking amazing, and I loved it. And then was it Till the End of Time on PS2 was another, here you go, have at it. And that game was just gargantuan in size. Like, to do everything in that game, you're easily going to waste like 200 hours of your fucking time.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. I just remembered what the game was called. I was trying to think of Iden Chronicles, the first mage.
Ooh.
It was a THQ game from back when THQ still made good games.
I saw that the other day, and I had known about that being like, you know, a big RPG on a system. As a matter of fact, it was one of the last games released for the 64.
Yeah,
and I never got a hold of it.
It's fantastic, and the battle system is very similar to Quest 64. It's like they fleshed it out more. It's really fucking badass, but N64, it's a poor system, just had no RPGs at all. You know, they had Ogre Battle, and they had that.
I'm waiting for Yellkaos to pipe up and say, "There was Zelda! There was Zelda!"
The thing is, at the end of the day, the thing that's really keeping JRPGs alive, though, honestly, is handhelds.
Yes.
And that's really it. Like, if you are an owner of a PSP, which I know most people don't even give a shit it exists, but if you're a fan of RPGs at all, pick up a PSP, because it's like, it's got RPGs just running out the ass. Matter of fact, if you're a fan of the Persona games, you should own a PSP, because it has Persona 1, 2, and 3, and they have 4 coming out. And then on top of that, just some of the really underlooked games that are on it, like the GND Arc, or however you say it, that game's really good. Let's see, they got Wild Arms on there, Popolo Croyd, they got Crisis Core, which I don't know how the hell I even forgot about that. Crimson Gem Saga, Lunar's actually on there. You can import Breath of Fire 3 on PAL, unless you're in the PAL region, then you can just go and buy it, which is a fantastic game and way cheaper than getting it on PS1. It's
a good port as well. It really is.
Legend of Heroes.
That's the thing on 3DS, on DS, on PSP. Unfortunately, a lot of those JRPGs are just re-releases. So it's not like they're moving forward, really, unfortunately, on the JRPG front. It's like they're kind of going back and just like, okay, let's re-release all the Final Fantasy games again.
Yeah, well, you know. Just in the Final Fantasy defense, though, there was Final Fantasy IV, the Complete Edition, which was complete collection, which gave you the re-release, so you got the first half of the story. Then they gave you the after years, which was basically what happened afterwards. And not only that, there was also the interlude, which was a little bit of gameplay in between the two main stories. So for in terms of content, you got a lot of bang for your buck, and it was an expansion of the original story.
Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly liked it a whole lot. Like the after years, I gotten it when it was on what is it, the WiiWare service, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I downloaded it originally on there because Final Fantasy IV, which many gamers out there might refer to it as Final Fantasy II. Final Fantasy IV is just an amazing game. Like it really, really is in terms of story, characters. Graphically looked amazing for its time. Music, it's the whole package. But to see something like that and still done in the same style of graphics and everything was like playing an extension in a game you didn't know existed.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody got the
But
speakers
overall,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who's-
So let's get what's next. Sainted might have to take over here because Yellkaos is having.
Well, we're well after the first hour, so do we have any mail left?
Do we have some mail? All right, it's all going to be on the Facebook, so let's have a
Yeah.
goosey fucking
All right,
go.
what's on the Facebook?
Well, that's what I'm looking at now. Just give me a minute to upload. All right.
And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment box or on our Facebook page, facebook.com/hatebitpodcast.
facebook.com/pages/hatebitpodcast. Link will be in the description below, and there'll also be a link on the channel page probably after this podcast.
Damn right.
Right, we've
So
got,
put on your thinking cap and lay it on us.
right, so we have got one from Aaron Bird, BYRD. I hope I said it right. And he says he wants to see Smash TV rebooted on the 3DS.
That would actually finally be usage for the Circle Pad Pro.
Yep. Matthew Mapes says he wants Ice Climbers on the 3DS, Donkey Kong 64, Mario 64 revived, to revive the series, and maybe a Dissidia game from the PSP library.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a big Dissidia fan.
I've not really played them, so I can't really say much. Let's see, have we got any more? Well, I know we've got more, but Facebook is a piece of shit, so...
Really? Surely you jest.
No, but we've got a nice comment here. Already loving this podcast. Nothing beats listening to four very experienced gamers having a conversation over games.
Yeah.
And that was left by Ryan Eddy.
Ryan
Thank you
Eddy.
for
Thank you,
playing.
Ryan Eddy.
Yes.
I like that we're referred to as experience. That makes me think of old MILFs or some shit.
Yeah.
We're mature gamers.
We're mature.
We have so much experience.
Yeah.
The Gilf Gamer podcast. Yeah.
We can remember a time when they made video games.
I remember a time when you used to play games on tapes. I know. Tapes.
Oh man.
I remember
No,
when it used to be pixels. Now it's poly.
I remember a time when you couldn't take your games anywhere near a magnet.
I remember when you had to blow on the cartridge. Do you like green beans?
Right. One more comment. I think. Well, we got two comments, but from the same guy. A game that I think needs to be brought onto the 3DS is Super Metroid or Castlevania, and then he also puts fuck Capcom. So
We should actually just make a
Good
fucking-
comment. Thumbs up.
We should make a top-down shooter that's just called Fuck Capcom, and it can be all the little employees flying at the screen and a bunch of angry fucking gamers shooting shit out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reward.
Incorporate that into Smash TV.
Yeah.
Almost definitely.
The reward at the end of the game is we all get Mega Man Legends 3 and Breath of Fire 6. That's the reward. Good
Is that
Mega-
all?
That's all for this week's poll.
That's all for the mail? All right. Well, at this juncture, I'd like to take time to plug our individual Facebook pages and our individual channels on YouTube. Links provided in the description box below.
Yep.
Oh, that's all I was going to do. Actually, I thought I was going to whore it out a little bit longer, but that's not the case.
Your horn is
The
out.
rest of our podcast. Don't forget, we got a lot more coming up. Let me see. Oh,
Oh.
One of the last few topics I got written down here is we're going to have a discussion about tutorials and accessibility in gaming today.
Oh, fuck.
Read a manual, you dumb fucks.
Well, I read an article on the ZeldaDungeon.net, and they picked it from somewhere else, talking about how, at least in Zelda games, and I think this is pretty clear all the way across gaming these days, is the tutorials are getting longer and talking to you as if you're a fucking moron. And I wonder, is that more because they are fucking morons, or because they don't know that, we're more than just meat with eyes?
We are just
I don't
more.
know.
We're just meat with eyes.
Oh.
Games companies have been treating us like a bunch of fucking assholes for years. So,
But that's the thing. Like, it's so weird. The Super Nintendo was a system that primarily sold to young children. I know because I was a fucking young child when I owned one. You know what I mean?
I was like, how many young children were you?
But like, you play. For example, I mentioned earlier my first RPG was the original Breath of Fire. I didn't have a game manual with that, and that game doesn't have a tutorial at all.
Nope.
And that game was made for children. It's like, but now I boot up fucking Mass Effect, and I got a button prompt on the screen telling me that pushing the left thumbstick moves my character forward. Like, what? Seriously? It's
That's
getting
because they don't assume that we're all stupid. They want to make sure that they can get every single asshole living to play the game, even if they never played a game before, because they want little Johnny to be able to pick up the game, and his dad sees it, and his dad decides to pick up the game even though he doesn't have prior experience with a game console, and then his grandpappy comes down, and he sees it, and he's like, oh, I just nudged, okay. And he goes and he does the same thing because, well, quite frankly, they want to go and grab hold of everybody and shake the money out of them because that's their ultimate goal is cash. We aren't meat with eyes. We're cash that breathes. That's
that's a better analogy.
Basically. And now they got whole tutorial modes that last the entire game. You literally have a tutorial. Some of these games have it. You go in the options menu, you actually have to turn off the tutorials in order to not be inundated with this bullshit the whole fucking game.
Please quit harassing me about how I climb onto a ledge. I don't need to know because it's the same fucking button throughout the entire game. But would you like us to tell you again? No, you ass clown. I don't want to be told again. Quit fucking doing it. It's annoying.
Well, you know who programs all this shit, right?
Capcom?
The paperclip from Windows.
Oh yes. I forgot all about that.
It's
Well,
been him all
would anybody
along.
think I'm out of? Would anybody think I'm out of line by suggesting that a lot of this is artificial content extension?
You're right there.
Yeah, I think some of that is definitely. I mean,
Because you're
There's been a lot-
turning you're turning a 30-hour game into a 40 or 50-hour game just because it's so dramatically slowed down in the very beginning, so it
Yeah.
seems longer.
which is nothing new. I mean, I was playing. I've been mentioning to you guys. I've been playing through the Silent Hill games ever since I beat Downpour recently. I have been playing through the Silent Hill games, and I played 1, right? Which is one of the few PlayStation 1 games that holds the fuck up to this day. It's fantastic. But I was playing that game, and literally I beat it in all of 6 hours because I knew the solutions to all the puzzles. With the puzzles, if you didn't know the solutions to the puzzles, that game could take you weeks.
The only thing I have to say in response to that is the piano puzzle.
I was just thinking that.
Right.
That is literally like, and I'll go on record and say this, anybody listening to this right now, I fucking challenge you to tell me about a fucking puzzle that is more infuriating than the fucking piano puzzle. And I don't just mean now after you've fucking solved it and shit. No. I want you to fucking go into the furthest recesses of your fucking memory and remember wanting to punch a baby because you couldn't fucking figure it out. And don't tell me, well, I guessed it and figured it out on the first try. You're a liar. You're lying to cover up those fucking horrible memories like I do periodically when I'm like, I don't want to remember that. Yeah, I totally bested that the first try. Yeah, and I break down and cry and have to go on a drinking binge just to fucking forget. But no, seriously. If anybody can remember something, please comment about it. That would be fucking awesome.
That's this week's Facebook thing, I think.
I've actually suppressed that memory so hard that all I can think about is the piano from Mario 64 that tries to eat Mario.
Yeah.
Because so much in the Silent Hill puzzles are so fucking unrealistic.
Yeah. They're painful.
No one would think of this. That's why you had to have 3 dudes eating Cheetos, getting it all
Yeah.
over the controller, spending a fucking weekend to figure out how to do the fucking piano puzzle.
That
I still
piano
remember
puzzle.
actually having friends down trying to figure that out, and everybody just was like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Turn this off. Let's play Jet Moto. So that was pretty much my life right there, as my friends
Jet
being
Moto did
infuriated.
solve everything, though.
It
It did.
didn't, because I kept going with it. I can't quit. I have to best it or else die trying.
Yeah.
Well, that piano puzzle, you see, I was unlucky, right? Most of the people that played games in my class when I was at school were basically the ones that fucking played 64. So when I says, "Oh, what game are you playing at the moment?" and I'm saying, "Oh, I'm playing Silent Hill 1," and they were like, "Huh? How do you play that?" I says it's survival horror. Oh, like Resident Evil. I says no, it's better than Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Got to this
I
piano
don't-
puzzle. Sorry, I had a bit of gas. Got to the piano puzzle, and I says, "Right, come over, I need a hand." And not one of us could do it.
Yeah.
And they were more flummoxed by the fucking control because it had 2 analog sticks and not just the one. Fucking
To be fair, the initial Resident Evil releases are more or less puzzle games that couldn't stand on their own as difficult puzzles.
Yeah, those are not very good puzzles in Resident Evil. Silent Hill puts those bitches to shame.
oh, it does
No,
horribly.
the Resident Evil heavily relies on ambiance.
Yeah, very heavy. Well, so does Silent Hill.
I was
Oh,
going to say,
absolutely.
Silent Hill... well, okay, here, you have to look at like
Si-
this.
Silent Hill, it feels like the game itself hates you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it does hate you, and that's one of the reasons why it's so fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
You're making me
And-
want to go and buy the original one
Okay.
on PS1 now.
All the ambience in
Do it.
fucking Resident Evil was done in the first one. The other ones weren't nearly as scary, like, as far as setting. Well, Code Veronica was here and there. But the thing is, like, you know, a scary, spooky, fucking quiet mansion in the middle of the woods with nobody else to help you. Yeah, that's a fucked up ass setting. The rest of them, I mean, you know, a city that's pretty much completely destroyed isn't. I'm going in a completely different direction. We're talking about puzzles. I'm sorry. See how I sidetrack? I can't help it.
It's alright.
We weren't even talking about that. We were talking about games that have too long of tutorials.
Oh yeah! Wow. See, wow. Well, here I will definitely say this seriously, folks. If you can think of any really fucked up, infuriating puzzles whatsoever, please write about it, because yeah, we would like to reminisce and then conjure up those bad memories all over again.
Yes, put it on,
And
put it
please
on
do
the
not include
Facebook.
the 1,500 jigsaw piece puzzle of a wheat field.
Put it on the Facebook. We'll read them out on the next podcast episode. What do you think of that? That will do. Yes, most certainly.
Right now, I want to totally steal a Dimitri Martin joke.
Oh god, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, speaking of puzzles, he's talking about one day he's going to put together a 20,000 piece puzzle, a jigsaw puzzle, and when you finish it, it just says "Go outside." Anyway, that brings us to the end of all our news sections, and now it's time, your favorite time, my favorite time, the rant. And for the rant, we go to Mr. RazörFist.
Ah, yes. I've had this one brewing for a while. I actually got a message on YouTube, someone asking me to rant on this subject right as it was brewing, so it's lightning in a bottle here, motherfuckers.
Woo! Ride the
So-
lightning.
DRM and anti-piracy measures. Beyond the mere fact that it sounds like, I don't know, DRM to me sounds like an Asian respiratory ailment. It's clearly one of the most controversial aspects of modern PC gaming, a topic that itself is more controversial, I don't know, than a Ted Kennedy dinner date that culminates in the construction of a ground zero mosque using Barack Obama's birth certificate as the fucking building permit. And the reasons why are fairly self-evident. All right. The mere act of booting up a Ubisoft PC title since 2007 entails a complex, fucking violative sexual act invariably involving a bent-over, splayed-legged fucking player, 2 football fields of copper piping, live circus animals, and a trained puppeteer. Being a PC gamer since, about 2001 has often felt depressing and increasingly solitary, but it hasn't been until recently that it felt like trying to smuggle nuclear waste through a TSA checkpoint with a live time bomb wedged in your fucking duodenum. You could beat a baby seal and a family of puppies to death in the middle of a PETA rally and feel less resentment than by simply taking it upon yourself to boot up a modern PC title. The problem to me is this. Not all PC gamers are pirates, but enough fucking are. And frankly, that isn't the developer's fault. The big man train initially helmed by Napster and then, I guess, Audio Galaxy, Kazaa, BitTorrent, and now piloted by a demented cornucopia of profligate would-be Blackbeards, has now had palpable consequences for the average unassuming Joe who just plain wants to play his copy of Rainbow Six Vegas without the need for a gallon of KY and a fucking writing crop. My clear stance is this. If illegally downloading PC games immediately disqualified someone from being able to bitch about intrusive and impractical DRM measures, then there would only be 3 guys left. But those 3 guys would be really fucking pissed. You don't get a bit... To me, I guess you don't get to bitch about DRM while you're plundering the depths of the Pirate Bay for that day's ration of booty, both figurative and literal, every fucking night. If you steal those games, I fucking hope they're hard to play. I hope the DRM requires a direct connection to the base of your goddamn urethra. You fucking stole the game that a group of 80-plus people labored to make for years, you simpering cunt. Good for Ubisoft. Unfortunately, that isn't how it works. If you're savvy enough to know how to anonymously download a torrent, then muddling through the process of downloading a DRM crack isn't exactly a Herculean effort at that point. It's a measure directed at illegal downloaders that hurts everyone except illegal downloaders. Not to get too political, but it's a bit like gun control. If the mere act of outlawing firearms immediately precluded organized criminals from acquiring guns, then every nation on this planet would be doing it without batting an eyelash. The problem is that the only people who aren't affected by gun control laws are fucking criminals, because those low-down motherfuckers weren't buying their guns legally to begin with. If you want to kill illegal downloading, make a product with physical items that no one can download. DLC bonuses get cracked faster than a rebar under Ralphie May's love seat, particularly when you're leaving it on the fucking disc, so fuck that noise. But there's just one singular item of advice that can single-handedly part the seas and turn back the barbarian hordes. So I need the development community to just come in real nice and close, none of you that watch this podcast, especially you, Jade Raymond, come and sit on Daddy's lap, okay? You ready? You clenched? All right. Make games that are worth fucking buying. If you make lobotomized third-person set-piece simulators with more chest-high walls than plot points, you deserve your fucking sales. And piracy only magnifies what would have already been disappointing sales reports at that point. In summation, developers, stop blaming your audience because you haven't made a game worth purchasing in half a decade. And audience, stop fucking stealing shit. And before you turn into an existentialist cockbag and tell me, but like, who really owns anything, man? First, wash your fucking poncho, you filthy pseudo-iconoclastic fucking hippie. And second, stop hiding behind armchair philosophy to justify your dickbag behavior. Stealing is wrong, fuckhead. I'm RazörFist, God fucking space.
Hey!
Hey!
I won't even clap. I'm gonna say the word clap, clap, clap,
Clap, clap,
clap,
clap,
clap, clap.
clap, clap,
That
clap.
was damn good.
Is that how your medical chart reads?
Clap, clap,
Yes.
clap.
Sometimes my whorish ways should not be revealed, because then everybody will have a fuck count as big as mine.
Ooh.
Moving forward.
Moving forward, yes. So
I'm not going to judge. I'm a slutty little boy myself. But all that aside, we're talking about video games, which is more about rape than,
to be honest,
intercourse.
this generation is just one big fucking rape case.
It really is. The rape chase has begun.
No, people go to jail in rape cases.
Yeah, well, maybe we should start sending these fuckers to jail, because look at what they've done to the customers. We should do a class action
Absolutely.
lawsuit saying that you fuckers have fucked us over for the last time.
So DRM, what are you guys' thoughts on DRM? Because I think we now established mine pretty well
Well,
at this point.
DRM, right, digital rights media, whatever you want to call it, it's just a fucking joke. And like you said, I totally agree with you. There is, the fair few fuckheads that like to download a game off fucking ISO hunts and shit like that and fucking say, oh, I've just downloaded the latest game. Do you want it on your PC? No, do I fucking want that thing on my PC? Because it's going to be a glitchy fucking mess, unlike when you buy the proper version and it fucking works first time. But
Yeah.
that's all I can say to it.
I don't know, my big view on it is like this. I understand why people will download games and steal them because, frankly, they're poor. And I've been in that situation tons and tons of times, despite the fact some people might be scoffing at that because in every video, I have a fucking mountain of games behind me. But the fact is that I've been purchasing and saving and working my ass off since I was fucking 16 to have everything that I own. I didn't have mommy and daddy to buy me shit because I came from a poor Irish fucking family. The fact of the matter is that I buy the shit to support the fucking stores, to support the employees, to support the developers, to support the publishers, even if I fucking hate quite a few of them. The fact is that if you don't buy them, then the stuff isn't going to continue to be made, and then you can't bitch at the end of the day why you didn't get a sequel. Because you didn't fucking buy it. You downloaded it. That's in the story.
Right.
People will say, well, that's preaching. Well, you want to know what? You can fucking blow me, and I'm not going to say anything, really. I'm just going to fucking let you finish.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, they can say that. They can fucking talk like Charlie Brown's fucking teacher while they're bobbing my fucking knob. And when I'm done and they're done, I can be like, are you going to purchase their game? Gulp. I guess I am, AlphaOmegaSin. There you go, fuckbag. Purchase the fucking games. Quit stealing them all the time. And if you want to fucking steal the game to try out, then go buy it. That's absolutely fine. But don't fucking complain the entire time about something that you stole, because that makes no fucking sense. That's like stealing a fucking apple, finding out it was rotten, and going to the store and bitching out fucking customer service. You fucking anal leak.
Anal leak.
I think we got 2 rants for the price of 1 here today.
Oh.
Yeah, I do apologize. That was supposed to be your. I do apologize to all the listeners. I didn't mean to. It's just one of those things, you know, like when you start pushing a boulder down a hill and it just keeps rolling. Yeah, that apparently is my fucking thought process.
I'd say it's the snowball theory.
Well, shit, everyone else got to hate. I guess I should hate too. I just like to start off this little piece of hate by saying, fuck the Sugimotos.
Fair play.
Anyway, no, I'm in the unusual position of completely agreeing with you, chaps.
For the first time
it sucks.
Started.
I just wanted to say fuck the Sugimotos, actually.
Yeah, but for the first time since we started this podcast, you actually agree with us.
I know.
That's untrue.
No, that's true. It is true. You never agree with us on wholehearted.
Okay, well, can we all agree on just one thing?
What?
Sure.
Fuck the Sugimotos.
If
Fuck them.
Yeah, sure.
There we go.
But speaking of which, you know, just going back to this DRM thing, how relevant has it been with gaming? Because most people are getting turned off with this DRM shit. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand it if you download.
I think the era of the hardcore gamer is waxing.
Yeah.
Well, it's still
waning, rather.
It's still fucking relevant with Ubisoft, because Ubisoft has mandatory, violative, fucking anal rape DRM on every single goddamn game. Every single one. So if you buy a PC game, you're going to have to deal with that DRM no matter what. If you play Assassin's Creed 1, even on Steam, it has to have a constant internet connection. Constant. Even if you're playing, even though the game is not multiplayer, you have to play the single player mode with an internet connection.
Even though you paid like fucking, I don't know, £25 for your fucking internet connection that has to be high speed just to fucking run the damn thing.
Not only that, but what problems does that present down the road? Because what if Ubisoft goes out of business? What if Ubisoft doesn't have servers to connect to anymore?
Then
Are you not going to be able to...
You can't
Yeah,
play
you're not going
it.
to be able to play that game? What the fuck?
Here, I actually
And
want to
what
give
if everybody
one-
finds
one-
out that you're the asshole in the apartment building who's soaking up all the goddamn bandwidth?
Yeah.
There's one example I want to give, and it's because it's honestly pissed me off the entire time that I've had it. Me being a very big fan of beat 'em ups, I love Final Fight naturally, but the thing is, Final Fight on Final Fight on PSN? Okay, I went and downloaded it, and you cannot play that game unless you're connected to the internet. At all. And the thing is, it's a fucking 1-player game or a 2-player game. Well, why the fuck do I need to be connected to play a fucking beat 'em up? That makes no goddamn sense fucking ever. I downloaded the fucking game in all happiness, like, oh man, Final Fight, haven't played this in years. And then this? This is what I get for my hard-earned money, is a game once the fucking PS3 isn't going to be used anymore, I can't play my fucking game. Well, la-di-fucking-da. I'm so happy that they got my money permanently. Meanwhile, I got a game that I can only rent. Fucking
Exactly.
awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
I got exactly the same situation with Crysis. I downloaded Crysis for the PS3 because I played the PC version, loved it. So I thought, oh, I'll get the console version so I can still play it because it was on sale. It was on 50% off. So I thought £9 for a decent fucking PC game on my PS3, win-win. My internet connection went down, so I thought, well, now I've got it on the system, I'll play it. Turned it on. Says you need to be signed into PSN to play this game. My internet was down. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. And that's
outside.
That's another
what,
problem.
at 4 in the morning?
A perfect
Yes,
example.
please refrain from sexual intercourse.
Yeah, that's another problem. Like, what if the Xbox Live is eventually going to go down? How do we know this? Because Xbox Live for the original Xbox games already went down.
Yeah.
Yep.
So some of these games have it written on the box, online multiplayer, X number of players. Is that not false advertising at that point? Can you not sue? Is it not? Because it's blatantly telling you can do something that you can't at that point.
A box is not a legally binding contract.
I guess.
It's
Fucking bullshit.
but just going on from that standpoint there, the Phantasy Star Online episode 1 and 2 on the Xbox, right? Says it's an online game. The only way you could play it, even if you wanted to play it single player, you needed to have an Xbox Live account. You had to have one that was online. And then you had to sign up for, to actually play the game offline. The GameCube version, on the other hand, you put it in, you could play it no matter what. Doesn't matter if you were online, offline, fucking anything. You could just play it. So basically, it just once Xbox Live died for the original Xbox, it just basically made that game redundant.
And beyond all that is the fact that it not only does it make it redundant, but also remember that the 360 isn't backwards compatible with a ton of that stuff. So yeah, that just adds further insult to injury because people are just like, well, I have to keep my old console.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Your
But
old
even
console
so, you
with
keep
no
the old
online.
console and it's not going to do anything.
I mean, yeah, when it comes to that, but it's just a fact. It's like, you're not really helping your new system really show that it is a true successor when it can't even do everything that the old one does because you won't support it. And when you're paying fucking $50 to have Xbox Live and everything like that, why the fuck am I not getting the full experience here? Especially when it's like first party games like Halo 1 and 2. Even if you don't like Halo 1 and 2, there's lots of people out there that do, and they should be allowed to play them. And I still remember when they were taking down the servers for that, there was X amount of people that refused to quit playing, and they were online playing for a couple days straight when the servers were supposed to be down. And the people at Microsoft thought this was really awesome and celebrated them doing that. Then once they were done, they still took it down. It's yeah, I'm sure that you must have really thought a whole bunch of them when you still took it down like a bunch of fucking asshats. You're a bunch of fucking dicks.
Yeah, there was one guy. He managed to stay on 23 days after the actual fucking thing died or something like that. He managed to stay online. He kept his account going so he had his mate playing in between the matches. If he had to go to work and then he'd come back, have a bit of something to eat, then get somebody else to play in his place when he was sleeping. It was pretty amazing.
Wow.
And that's why I miss split screen, folks.
Oh yeah.
Because you didn't need to be online, and I don't give a fuck if somebody's like, I don't like when the screen split up into 4. Well, guess what? Big TVs are pretty fucking cheap now. I got a fucking 42-inch TV for $500, okay? You can go and have that thing in split screen, and it looks just fine. Seriously, play fucking GoldenEye that way, get drunk with your friends, it's the shit. Grab some titties while you're fucking playing, it's all in good fun.
Oh yeah.
I always used to love running around as Odd Job on there. That was fucking funny.
Odd Job is so cheap, dude, because he's short.
He's-
You're shooting
Yeah!
at his head.
Little
It's what
bastard.
the fuck?
I used to love the Golden Gun match. That was awesome.
Oh,
I like
that
running
game's-
around with remote mines. That was fun.
Yeah. That's what blows me away. They're releasing first-person shooters now that have less multiplayer game modes than GoldenEye for the Nintendo 64. What the fuck? Seriously.
It blows my mind to think, because it's just like you have such a big emphasis on like, you know, co-op and multiplayer, but you won't let it happen offline. It's like, you know how many friends I have that come down and want to play games, and it's like, did you bring your console and an extra TV and a copy of the game? Oh, you didn't? Well, you can't fucking play with me. I'm sorry. You're just going to have to watch, or here, you can have the controller for your turn, and then, you know, you're making my stats look horrible when you go online. Thanks a bunch.
And there's just these little things that used to be done in first-person shooters that aren't done anymore. You remember Turok?
Mm-hmm.
You could shoot every single part of a human being's body, and it would produce a different reaction when you shot them. If you shot them in the ear, their ear would blow off and gush blood, and they'd take forever to fall to the ground and hold their ear and fall down and all that fun shit. You shot them in the foot, they reacted totally differently. If you're playing Call of Duty now, there are two reactions. You get shot in the body or you get shot in the head. And that's it. They're completely lazy. They're completely cutting corners. There's nothing
but hey,
there.
that doesn't matter whatsoever, because most of that would only be relevant to the offline experience in the one-player campaign. And seriously, who plays that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like, nobody plays that, and I'm sure that they know that, and they're like, it doesn't matter. They could seriously have pink hippos flying around in the game. Nobody would even fucking report that or talk about it until like 6 months after the game's release, and that one fucking bored-ass motherfucker who played was like, did you notice the pink hippos? They're in every fucking stage. Everywhere.
Exactly.
That's weird. How did anybody
They wouldn't
notice?
find out for like 20 years after the Angry Video Game Nerd reviewed it.
And then everybody goes and they play, and they're like, oh, wow, did not know that. That's kind of fucked. I only played online, LOL.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, no.
So anyways, what is that it, fellas?
Seems like that's it.
I've got a little bit more to say about it.
Oh,
but
well,
it's
damn it. What do you got?
It's gone fresh out of my head, so I think we should move on until I remember, and then I'll just go, oh, and that thing. One more thing. Then keep going.
It doesn't work that way, man, but thank you for your enthusiasm.
Well, that's
Take it away, Chaos.
that's called the magic of editing.
The magic of editing. Wow.
The magic of editing? Question mark.
Speaking
What's
of
it
religious
about?
censorship, no, I had a theory actually about Final Fight Alpha. My theory is that maybe that online connectivity, maybe that has to do with that game is actually being treated as a multiplayer experience. Just everybody else you're playing has a really low life bar.
Yeah. Could be. Could be.
That's only a theory, mind you.
Oh,
I'm more acceptable of that theory than the whole we're just a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
Because that's ultimately like that's the one that I just kept staring in the face and was gonna headbutt in the fucking teeth.
that would be quite funny.
Am I the only person that thinks that DRM sounds like some sort of a preservative they put in Chinese food?
I think it is a preservative that they put in Chinese food.
Yeah, well...
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. No, you didn't.
And don't worry, folks. Yes, we are being sarcastic. Sometimes it doesn't translate well, but it is sarcasm.
Well...
Yeah, if you guys could see us, you'd run for the hills.
They say sarcasm is the lowest form of wit.
Run for your lives?
Okay, we need somebody to start belting it out with some awesome vocal style.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Come on,
What are
someone
you
has
talking
to do.
about? What? Run to the hills?
Run to the hills, Iron Maiden.
Songs of blue in the barren waste.
Oh,
Galloping hard on the plain.
There we go, man. We got some
Chasing
motherfucking
the
Iron
redskins
Maiden
back to their
karaoke.
holes. I actually don't know the lyrics on that one.
Just do the chorus.
Now we're gonna get sued.
I know, probably. Sorry, you need to own the rights to that karaoke.
I know. See, I was gonna do my Geddy Lee impression from Rush, and now we can't do that either.
Bruce Dickinson, you bastard. Let us sing what we want to sing, even
I
though
can't
you
call him
wrote
a
it.
bastard. He's still one of the best fucking metal singers ever.
I know.
I guess I can't do my King Diamond impression, though. Fuck.
Do it. All you have to do is scream
Yeah, do
really
it.
high. Real fast.
Holy shit! I'm pretty sure everybody's ears died there. Like the piercingness.
What?
Oh, What?
What?
Clark?
What did you
Oh man,
say?
you gotta be more. When you do King Diamond, you gotta be more guttural. You gotta do the Grandma King.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Now you need to have the fucking upside down crosses painted on your face and everything in a top hat.
Who's to say I
Yes.
don't?
Dude, if you do, I'm gonna be very delighted.
You saw my
Like-
Halloween special, man.
just sitting around in fucking King Diamond stuff. I'd be like, this is how you do a podcast, folks. Justice motherfucking King
Okay,
Diamond.
when we do the live stream, I think I'm going to.
I think we should all wear makeup on the live stream.
I think during the live stream, I'm going to have a girl giving me head the entire time.
Hang on a minute. Are we doing a live stream?
Eventually.
Eventually, yeah, we have to do a live stream because it'd be fucking funny.
Well, we have to do a live stream. I think we should do a live stream whenever the fuck we can be bothered.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, everybody
It'd have to be a
listening at
Friday
home, if all of you would actually tune in to a live stream, please let us know. Because if you will, and the more people that say that they'd be all for it, then we'll definitely start fucking getting that underway.
And if somebody could help us with a group fucking live stream where we can use our webcams, that would be much appreciated.
If someone could explain to us iTunes, that'd be even better.
Yeah, because we're podcast illiterate and fucking retarded, apparently.
Yes.
It's true.
But anyway, just speaking of the whole iTunes debacle that we've had with this past couple of weeks, we have actually found a way to get it up. So, yeah, that sounded fucking wrong.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yes,
right.
Yes,
for
we
it.
got a
What you
big
doing,
token
gentlemen,
uploading
figured it
video.
Yeah.
Right,
It was a
well-
Bob Dole moment there. I don't know.
So what we're going to do is that we're going to post a link in the description to the whole iTunes fucking page where you can download our silly little voices and you can listen to us on your silly little, what's his fucking name? Steve Jobs fucking gadgets when you couldn't be bothered to actually just import it into your iTunes or your iPhone.
The Zoom.
Or the Zune or whatever. Just it'll be there to download, as well as the standard download link, which will actually be as an annotation now, so you guys can share the podcast. There, I said it. We've done.
And you can tell your friends, and you can make us famous. Why? Because that's what you're here for.
we don't do this because we enjoy it. We do it for you guys.
No, we
I
do it
do
because
it keeps my dick hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
just like the little blue pill.
Just like.
Oh, yeah.
One little blue pill? No, I'll fucking OD on those bitches. Walk around with a fucking raging boner whenever I go to Walmart and buy some frozen pizzas. I'm
So
just
you
like,
just walk
don't act
around with
like
your-
you're not impressed.
Well, it makes
look-
buying donuts easier, doesn't
Dude, it would like be trying to get away at that point.
it?
You'd be like, searching for gold.
No, it'll be funny. You're trying to get out of the store and the pressure sensitive mat doesn't actually work and the door shuts on your fucking erectile.
No, what you do is you drop your erectile onto the pad, it'll open right up.
You fucking polvo into the wall above it.
So if anybody out there has a vivid imagination, just imagine a very metal-looking dude beating his wiener off the fucking little sensor pad in front of a doorway going, "Open, damn it, open!" And you pretty much are going to have probably a fucking nightmare now.
Yeah, just whatever you do.
I can merchandise that. It could be me, Yellkaos, the tripod.
Yeah, you could, dude, you could even have an advertising slogan: Cialis for the 48-hour erection. Yeah.
Anyway, what's the next section that we've got?
I think we're just closing it out.
Oh,
I think that was it.
that was it.
Yep.
All right. Well,
That was
So
it.
Yellkaos, close it out, buddy.
yeah.
Take it
Yeah,
away.
do it.
Well,
Do it.
that's
We
going to
dare
do
you.
it. Well, that's going to do it for us. We've learned that iTunes is a shit, Capcom is a shit, EA is a shit, the future is shit, 3D gaming is shit. So, with that having been said, I'm Yellkaos, and I'd like to say goodbye to the boys. Alpha,
Bye-bye, folks. I heart you.
Sainted Magnus.
Yeah, bye. It's like fucking, what time is it? Fucking hell, it's near enough 5 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday night. So I shall bid you all farewell, and I shall see you in my next videos.
RazörFist.
I'm RazörFist, and I am fully engorged. God fucking speed.
Oh, God.
And I'm Yellkaos, and I can never show this to my parents so they can find out what I do for a living. So, thank you very much. It's been
Podcast.